Hello, welcome to Willow Legal Group's Coffee Chat. Thanks for joining us. Do you want to introduce our guest today?
So today we are talking with Rachel Platt. She is the founder of Platinum HR Consulting. And Rachel brings 20 plus years of experience helping organizations and individuals achieve enduring success through strategic leadership. Through her roles as a Chief Human Resources Officer, Vice President, and Regional Director in diverse organizational structures and industries. She's built her reputation on her ability and her track record of developing pragmatic solutions to meet complex organizational and people challenges. I'm having challenges with speaking today. Platinum Consulting accelerates people-related initiatives in the areas of engagement, leadership development, cultural assessment, strategic planning, executive coaching, communications, process improvement, and inclusion. Platinum specializes in serving small and medium-sized nonprofits and commercial businesses across the U.S. It was founded in 2018 and is a certified women's business enterprise committed to driving meaningful organizational impact. So welcome, Rachel.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm happy to have a coffee chat with you both.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about Platinum HR Consulting, which I love that you named it after your last name, very creative, and just a little bit about how you got started in this little arena.
Yeah, well, Platinum came to me, I will just start with this, came to me at 3:00 in the morning, trying to think about what to name the organization. Obviously play off my last name, woke up the next day, said to my husband and sons, hey, this is what I'm going to name the company. And my sons were like, well, what about platypus? You should name it platypus. And I was like, that also plays off of our last name, but less uplifting. I'm not even sure what the plural of platypuses is.
I don't know. It probably could go very wrong very quickly.
Yes. But anyway, they're mean, supposedly. That is not what I am about. I am about my organization. After many years in corporate HR, I just realized that I had gotten so far away from doing the work that I loved and having a real direct impact on the people who come to work every day. And I started this consulting practice. It's been about 7.5 years now, and I'm thriving. My clients are thriving. The business is thriving. And so it is all good to be doing work that you love doing. And so the fact that I get to do that and help organizations create that environment for others, that is my zone of genius, as they say.
Awesome. And I know you focus on small businesses. What does that business look like? How many employees do they have? I guess that's a good question.
So typically, technically anyone could be a client as long as you have employees. I tend to specialize in organizations that have somewhere between 30 and 300 employees. But the reality is I have clients with 3, and I have clients with well more than 3,000. And those actually aren't made up numbers just to keep it in the threes. It's actually real. Those are the numbers. Really, what makes an ideal client, though, is a leadership team who wants to move beyond just compliance and day-to-day HR, and really wants to be thinking about and wants to be leading an organization that has programs, initiatives, does things in a way that really will allow them to attract talent, grow future leaders, and ensure that people are successful. And if they're not being successful, that they're being honest and candid in giving them the feedback. That's what I care about.
Oh, that's awesome. I think it's a struggle, right, for so many small businesses.
Yes.
And it just compounds as you get more people to watch over or to help, right? And finding that balance of personal growth for the employee and growth for the company. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. It is not an easy thing to balance, but if you think about it, and as we're thinking about your business and estate planning and wills and all of that, I mean, nobody gets to the end of their career or the end of their life, or very few people are sitting around and are like, oh, that Wednesday when I made X, or this widget or that thing. People are talking about like the people that they help, the people that they help grow, the people that they develop, the people who started, in this junior level position and they saw rise through the organization. And so if we think about people strategy, not as a cost, but as an investment in your business and as an investment in people, it really has such an impact on the success that your organization can have.
Yes. So tell us a little bit more about how does a business owner or go about finding good fits, the right people, not just a body to fill a desk.
Yeah. It actually, so there's the expression, hire slow, fire fast. And what I think that means, it's not that it should be a long process to hire someone, but there's a lot of pre-work that needs to happen before you actually start the process. Really thinking about what are the skills and the behaviors that you need, and what's written in that job description, and how do all of the people who are interviewing this human being, how are they asking questions that directly align with what the expectations are for the role and what the behaviors are that someone needs in order to be successful. And that takes planning. That does not say, oh, here's the resume, go interview this person. And that person has never interviewed in their life. They don't know what to ask. You haven't coordinated anything. And so, if you have two people interviewing, they end up asking the same, so tell me about your strengths. So that is not successful interviewing. And your selection process, and really important is your onboarding process. So many organizations think that onboarding means like fill out your paperwork and give us your information for direct deposit. That is not what onboarding actually is. And again, these aren't huge lifts, but they are things that if you take the time and you do them right, they can be reused for multiple hires time and again. You start to create your culture based upon what you are recruiting for, what you are interviewing for, and how you are setting expectations during onboarding with your new hires. And people start to fit with your culture, or they opt out and they say, this is not the right place for me. I don't want to be in this type of environment. And it makes a world of difference.
Yeah. I think we've seen that as our hiring process has evolved or is evolving, kind of a constant evolution.
Yes.
In adding some more steps pre in-person interview, right? To see how that goes, especially for some of the lower level, easy to apply type positions. And we've seen an increase or a better return.
Yes.
Putting some of those
and a better, again, I have always thought about hiring as, oh, wow, I get to help somebody live their best life. You know, they make money, they help their family, they gain skills, all of those things. So it's a match for them as well as a match for you. And so in putting that time in to get it right, to understand what it is that you're actually looking for and what you need for someone to be doing to be successful in the role, it's a huge burden off your shoulders, off your head, out of your stress level when you get the right person.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah. So what happens when you don't get the right person? And making those decisions. Well, or it's not a fit, and it's not a fit for either the company or the person. And it's reached a point where kind of everyone's like, well, we tried, right? Or we tried fitting you somewhere else. Is it a culture fit? Is it a skill fit? How do you think through some of those questions?
So for me, I go back to, have you had an honest, candid, respectful conversation with the other human being? Have you actually sat down and said, is this what you thought that it was going to be? I'm seeing this. What are you seeing? Or this is not going as I would have expected. How can we make this better? Because most people, not all, but most people do not come to work to try to make their boss's life more difficult. There are probably a few that are out there, but most people want to do a good job. The number of times that I have had employees say to me, why did no one tell me? Why were we so conflict avoidant that someone could not sit me down and give me the courtesy of telling me what I was doing or not doing that was not meeting expectations? Why did we have to wait until it got so tense? Why did we have to wait until everyone was really unhappy? And so my true advice is to learn how to give feedback, for all leaders, to learn how to give feedback, both positive and reaffirming feedback and constructive or redirecting feedback. And I work with a lot of my clients on this. It does not matter how long you have been a people leader for, giving feedback is a challenge for people. And so learning how to do that is a very, very important skill. And knowing when you can sleep at night because you have had those candid, honest, respectful conversations. You as a leader, you don't have to fix the problem. You need to make someone aware of what the problem is and empower them to come up with solutions to fix the problem. Just because I work one way or I want it to be like this or that doesn't mean that that's the best approach for everyone. And so if you've had those discussions and it's still not working, the work is still not being done accurately on a consistent basis, errors are still being made, or it's constant, deadlines are getting missed, or any other of the gazillion things that might not be going right, then you can sit down, you can sleep at night, and you can sit down and you can say, I really tried. I gave this person feedback, and as a matter of human dignity, this person can be wildly successful someplace else. It just is not going to be here. And so having that conversation, to the extent that you can, offering a little bit of a runway for someone to find their next thing through a separation package, through time to look for something else. through outplacement assistance. These are all things that can be, some people are like, oh, it's so expensive. No, it's an investment in your future reputation. And also the person who's leaving your organization can leave and be a tremendous advocate for your organization because you are a good human. You are a good leader, supervisor, boss, even if the fit did not work. So that's what I tell people. But don't drag it out either. Like in your hiring, make sure you follow it. But like once you've made that decision, it just gets more and more awkward for everyone. So make the decision, be polite, be kind, be courteous, be respectful, but make the decision and move on.
Yeah.
It's better for you. It's better for them. It's better for you, and it's better for your other employees.
Yeah, I think I've definitely been at organizations that were reluctant to fire, and everybody knew, right, that person was not carrying their weight and needed to go. And some people weren't even showing up for work, so it was like obvious. It was like they're not even here.
Yeah,
right. Awkward and painful.
Yes. Good words.
And then your best performers end up questioning, what is wrong with these leaders? Why are they not taking action? And that's not good for your organization either.
Yeah, true. And you may have already answered this, but what is one piece of advice that you wish more people understood when it comes to, I guess, just employee management or employee relations?
There's so many. I just with the trend of what we're talking about right now, though. Provide feedback. Provide positive feedback, positive reinforcement when things are going well. Tell them specifically what you observed, why it matters, what the impact is, and when things are not going as well, take people aside in a timely manner and tell them, hey, this did not go as I would have hoped. Here's what I want to see the next time. Getting back to, most people come to work wanting to do good work and they want to learn. So if they're doing something that is not meeting expectations or bugging other people or whatever the case may be, like a courteous conversation. You may not realize this, but blah, 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 really can be a step in the right direction. And if the person does not receive it well, then you've learned something also, and you can act on that going forward. Sure. Be a good human is, I guess, my basic theory.
Be a good human. I like that.
That's a good life
good
motto.
Life lesson.
And then last question, what is one item you can't live without in your day-to-day life?
Oh, you didn't tell me you were going to ask me that.
I know.
One item that I can't, an actual physical item, I am right now going to say, I think it is my new water bottle. Just to be honest, I am on a big drinking water kick. And it really is true. My hair is better. My skin is better. Everything, I feel better. So it is my water bottle. Right.
Excellent.
And my dog and my family and my kids and, all the other things that I can live with. But my material item at the moment, not just because I looked at it, but it literally was the first thing that I thought of, like, what can I not live without? Right now it's my water bottle.
Perfect. That's how I feel about my giant coffee mug.
I do worry. Sometimes it's still here like the next day and I go, oh, Lindsay forgot her coffee mug at the office.
I don't use it at home. I have another one for home.
Okay, good.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Rachel. It was really awesome talking to you.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. And we'll drop Rachel's contact information in the comments if you're looking to connect with her when you see this. So
Terrific.
thank you
so much for having me.